Well, hello. Welcome to a quick end of day devlog of my roguelike game slash game engine I'm working on here. So this is hopefully gonna be pretty quick. It's just a day's worth of stuff. This is the second day into the new project here, and so I just want to kind of show off, kind of the early beginning stages of what I've got and so forth. Nothing really to write home about, but I guess sometimes the beginnings of trips are kind of interesting. So let's see how this one goes. So if I bring up what we're going to talk about here, the morning I spent refactoring my stats module and got a start on the basic UI for the well, it's even hard to call it a UI. Let's just say like where I'm putting all the HTML stuff on the screen, just as I'm developing. You got to have some place to put all the things. Then I did my first cube, so that was a good milestone. I'll show that off. I spent a way too long hacking around with my new clever fixed type. So that was a little frustrating. I'm not gonna lie. That kind of sucked out a little too much energy of the day. And then I'll just kind of go over the achievements, and I'll show where where the project's currently at. All right, so spent the morning refactoring stats. Oh, you can't see the stats module here because I need to redo my. You'll see it in the end here, but whatever. So anyway, there's some stats to the side and to the top, but they're out of screen. So I have my first cube rotating on the screen. So here's the actual first cube drawn on the screen, and then this is it rotating around and so forth. And so it's a thing. It's that nice little milestone where you get everything kind of. Whoops. What do I want? I want to kind of just show the thing here. You do this, and then do that, and then do that. There we go. Yeah. So so it's just it's a milestone. It's sort of like every video game project. I think probably starts out with a cube. Excuse me, playing with the cube, and so that's where we're at with that one. Let's see. Oh yeah, that was just too much. So the problem, like the thing that bit me was I had a type named the same type in two different places because I was just did a quick little what would the type look like if I shaped it this way sort of thing, just kind of playing around goofing off, and then I forgot about it that I played around and goofed off, and so I had a type with a particular type name in my ECS module, and then I had a type with that same type name in my actual game project, and then I just went into type generic debugging kind of hell, and I spent probably a good couple hours actually on that. That just it's just one of those things when you're doing software development, especially when you're doing it kind of alone, because you don't have that buddy that you can kind of say, hey, take a look at this code. Why is this not working the way I expect it? And then they, with fresh eyes, look at the code, and kind of immediately see the problem. So I kind of ran into that issue today, I would say. It's the rubber duck sort of thing, right? But unfortunately, I don't think asking the question of the rubber duck would have brought any more answers here. I needed a real rubber duck with eyes to help me here. But anyway, eventually got over it. So it is what it is. So let's just go over kind of some of the achievements I achieved today. So I did finally get my fixed type, better. That the actual type is a little bit more solid. I'm still not quite happy with it, but I made some progress on it. So I got stats and basic UI kind of drawing on screen. I'll show that off here in a little bit. Then I got cube rendering. Then I have I started a context object for 3JS to basically store all the geometry and materials and textures and stuff like that essentially need to be garbage collected or can't be garbage collected, I guess is another way of saying it, where I have to handle the memory management. So I'm kind of starting down that path. That one's going to be, I don't know. That one's going to be tough, I think. I don't know how I'm going to handle it exactly. It's one of these problems where there's so many ways of handling it. And it's kind of in some ways such a fun problem to essentially implement like your own garbage collector within the context of JavaScript. That it's, there's some real danger here, I think, of kind of over engineering it. So I need to kind of be careful here. So then I had to update my what you're looking at here, which is a little project I call showoff, which is this thing that draws the cube and allows me to quickly kind of show the devlog stuff in video format. And so that was a thing. There had some bit rot because I'm relying on the same threes module, right? And so that's a thing. It's I don't know if it's good or bad or what, but it is what it is. And so the big thing I'm thinking about right now is how best to sync between mutable objects like meshes and immutable objects like my entities, right? I tried the kind of the trivial case of just, well, what happens if you freeze a mesh, right? If you do an object.freeze on a mesh. Long story short, it doesn't work. 3JS is definitely heavy into the mutations. So I'm going to have some sort of, proxy between those two. So we'll figure it out. I don't have any fears of not figuring it out. I just have fears of making it too complicated. So let's get into actually showing off like where the project is currently. So this is what the project currently looks like. Wait, I have a cube spinning around. It's using a perspective camera currently. Just for the heck of it, I can swap between perspective and orthographic fairly easily. But I think debugging seems to work a little bit better if you use a perspective camera, right? Because you can kind of see that Z axis floating into the screen a little bit better. But you'll note that here, let me just kind of show this off how this works with my debugs and stuff. If I can get the thing on the screen here. One thing to note is I'm not real happy with the memory. I have some sort of memory leak already. This has been running for probably about 5 or 10 minutes. I'm already using 190 megabytes, which not good, but I'm also just doing horrible things when I'm rendering. So I'll maybe show off a little bit of the code as well. So this is very much a work in progress. So you'll note that this is the actual count of geometries from my context, like perspective, and then this is the this counter right here is the number of geometries and textures and so forth from the information that 3JS actually provides you if you know where to look. And this is just like an info list, like it's just an integer. Right now all I'm doing is I'm just basically adding the meshes. You know what? I'll actually just show you the code. That'll be easier. Let me turn on the code. Let's see. There we go. Let's see if we can't make this a little bit easier to read. Yes, no, yes. There we go. That seems to work better. All right. So let's just go into the render, the campus render system. Yes. All right. yeah, so I'm already here where I want to be. So you can just see that I'm just sort of, hacking around here, just kind of playing with ideas and stuff like that at this point. Right now, all I'm doing is, it's very similar to what I was doing with the text renderer, the pure text render, which if you didn't see that last time, here's the very simple text renderer I have that basically just, I bet I could get both of them running at the same time. That might be kind of fun. I'll do that here just to see if it'll work. So all I'm doing is creating a box mesh, right? Which has a geometry and a basic material and so forth. So I just create it, I add it to the scene, right? The scene I'm essentially clearing every tick, and then I'm adding it to the scene, which is I've kind of learned is a very low cost sort of thing to do. So I might continue doing that. I might not. I might keep a scene that's just sort of long term. But anyway, this works for now. And then I push it into this thing called meshes. And then at the end of the scene, if the tick frame count is, if basically I have 100 frames, of every 100 frames, I'm just disposing of the mesh, which this method just disposes of the geometry and materials and textures and all that sort of stuff. So it just kind of goes through and cleans everything up. Kill it with fire is so it's not very elegant sort of dispose, but it works. And so that's that's more or less where we're at the moment, as far as code that's sort of interesting to show off. So let's try something fun here. Let's actually try this. I honestly have not tried this. I don't know how this is going to work. I'm even using the old. I got rid of my constant, right? I had a constant for that. Got rid of it. I think this is what I want to have happen. All right, so let's see if this actually renders or not. Let's go get rid of this. Uh-oh, it didn't work. Let's see if I can fix it real quick. If I can, I won't waste your time. Yeah, it seems like I'm kind of. You know what? I can probably let's do this. I think I know what kind of the problem might be. What happens if I do this? Does that make it any better? Makes it a little better. So I get rid of, but it's not rendering because I just don't have the HTML placed on the top in the correct place. It'll probably work correctly if I get rid of the actual render. So anyway, I apologize for wasting your time. You can feel free to sign off at this point. I'm just sort of goofing off here, but maybe you enjoy goofing off. Who knows? Game main. Let's see if I can not do the canvas one and see if that shows it. So if I don't do the canvas one and I do main, which is kind of just the center. It's not the center of the screen, rather, right? It's the center of the screen is called center, which I don't have access to. So, yeah, I think I just broke it. Oh well. But anyway, that's kind of an interesting thing I should be able to do, right? I'm kind of tempted to do that anyway. It's just as a debug, right? To actually just render it as text, and just position it on the screen via text. I've kind of it kind of amuses me to think about like having an overlay. Maybe it's just debug. But maybe it's actually something in the game or something like that to actually just render text on the screen at a certain position. So that might be a thing I do long term. But anyway, that's kind of where we're at. At right now. Let's get rid of this. If you're watching this and you're not me, give me a shout out or something like that. Let me know that I'm not just talking to myself. But other than that, I will catch you guys in the next one. Later. Bye.